guys and welcome back to the channel, and today I'm here to do another in my film listography book. I opened it at random last night and I've got my little thing in to tell me. I got list the most romantic moments in film. So I have listed 10 moments in film. One I have cheated, I've taken from a TV show, but some of these will be stereotypical, but I think most of them won't be because I'm not a big fan of romantic movies. Different things to me are romantic than maybe are to most people, so let's get on with my top 10 favourite romantic moments in movies. Okay, so number 1 and 2 I've taken from the same movie, so I'm actually going to talk about them at the same time. I can't get enough people to watch this. It's called Amy Foster or Swept from the Sea. It stars Rachel Weisz. This is the one when I done movie characters I wish were friends. I picked Janko from this movie. I said he was pretty much the perfect man, so this, obviously he has to have reasons why he's the perfect man, and here we go. So to give you a little bit of history, Amy Foster is a very misunderstood girl who lives, I think, is it off the coast of Cornwall? She basically lives in the south of England. It's set back in quite olden times. She looks very gothic, she's very beautiful, long dresses, long black hair, just stunningly beautiful. And a shipwreck's just off the coast, and there is a sole survivor on this ship who is Yanko. He is coming from Russia. He's wanted to go to America to make his fortune. So he's left his family in Russia and he's travelling across. So he comes on this island, he speaks no English, he's dirty, he's unkempt, and people think he's some sort of monster. They think he's some sort of wild man and no one wants to give him a chance. There's a scene in this when they capture him and put him in a barn. He's covered in mud from head to feet, he's injured, and my favourite scene comes in this situation. He's in this barn and Amy Foster comes in. She can't speak his language and he can't speak her language, and she brings him some bread in like a handkerchief and she washes his feet. Oh my goodness, the acting in this scene. There is no words spoken, but the acting and that act of humanity from her to him, and he's crying. It's such a moving scene that this human is offering him some compassion and he is so grateful for that. There's like something that goes between them at that time, and it's beautiful. I'm going to try where possible, guys, to put in clips of what I'm talking about. I'll not put the entire clip, this will be massive. I don't care about copyright, you know, that sort of thing. So I'm going to put it in. If I don't put a clip in, I'll put a still in if I can find one. So that was the first thing. The second one from the same movie, later on he wants to ask Amy Foster to go out with him. They think they call it to walk out with him. And he goes to the market. He doesn't have much money. He's a very intelligent man. He learns English very quickly. Ian McKellen's in this. Ian McKellen teaches him to play chess. Kathy Bates is in this, if you needed any other reason to watch it. And he goes to the market and he picks a green ribbon for her to wear around her neck. And just when he presents her with this ribbon at her door, it's the sweetest thing I've ever seen. And she is so touched by his present, and oh my goodness, I fell in love with him right there during that scene. It's beautiful. So him presenting her with the ribbon. So number 3 is a very stereotypical one. It will come in a lot of people's list. It's the montage from Carl and Ellie in Up. If ever a cartoon made me cry buckets, it's Up. I love this movie, or this animation. We see the montage of Carl and Ellie's life together. I'm sure I don't need to explain. Everyone has seen Up, that at the beginning of the movie Ellie passes away, Carl becomes a bit cantankerous and he meets this young boy that kind of like helps him discover life again. But the bit that really touched me in this was Carl always felt that he had let Ellie down because they had never moved to, I think it was called Paradise Falls, where she'd always wanted to go and they never had. And she had this adventure book because she was an adventurer, and what really touched me was and what I thought was so romantic was at the end of this movie, he finds the adventure book and he's feeling really downcast that he never got her to Adventure Falls. But in the bit, I've actually written it, so she has added photographs from their entire life to this adventure book, and she's wrote at the end, "Thanks for the adventure, now go have a new one." Oh, I want to cry again. And it's just such a touchingly beautiful moment. Right, I can't believe that I had to pause that because I made myself eye water. I made myself emotional thinking about it. She was ill, she knew she was going to pass away. She's basically left him the message that their life together was an adventure and she wants him now to go and have a new one. If that's not the most romantic thing you've ever heard in your life, I don't know what is. I mean, I'm nearly off again. So Carl and Ellie in Up is my number 3. Was this video a good idea? Maybe not. I've explained to you people before, I'm not a crier in real life. I don't cry often. It's rare. When I was younger, if I got angry enough, that would make me cry. I don't tend to get very angry these days. So I'm not a crier, but movies, that's it for me. Movies make me cry. They're the things that get to me. So we've covered the Carl and Ellie. Hopefully we'll be okay. So number 4 is from the film The Wedding Singer. I absolutely love this movie. I love everything about it. I love the music. I love the characters. I'm a big fan of Drew Barrymore, so that helps. Billy Idol is in this, which is just incredible. So this is a movie about a wedding singer and a girl who's in a relationship with someone that's all wrong for her. It's in the 80s, and the wedding singer, played by Adam Sandler, actually writes a song for Drew Barrymore's character. I've forgotten what she was called. And at the end, he plays her the song on an airplane, and Billy Idol's there in the background. And the song's called I Wanna Grow Old With You. It's a bit cheesy, but it's so sweet. And I love both characters so much. They were so perfect together, and it was so clear that they were perfect together that I was really, really touched by that. So yeah, number 4 is The Wedding Singer and the song Wanna Grow Old With You. Number 5, I've written Cyrano, all of it. Again, it's this thing, if I find something like ridiculously romantic, I almost fall in love with the lead role. I will fall in love with a character, be they male and female, it doesn't matter. Cyrano, Peter Dinklage in Cyrano, the entire character, completely fell in love with him, so much so that at the end of the movie, my main feeling was that Roxanne was not good enough for Cyrano. That's how I felt. I love really good writing. I love the old-fashioned art of letter writing. I love poetry. And in this, obviously, he's a fantastic writer. He's very intelligent, which is a big thing to me. I love intelligence. Obviously, Cyrano is an expert writer, poet. He writes letters for the guy that Roxanne has seen and she's fallen in love with visually with this other man. But he's not very eloquent. He can't write. He can't put his thoughts onto paper. Cyrano can. He does the writing for this handsome gentleman. In the original story, Cyrano had a big nose. He was played by Gerard Depardieu. In this, obviously, Peter Dinklage is short, and that's where we're coming from here. It's his stature, it's his height. And people think, well, she's never going to look at him. And this whole movie is about her falling in love with him inside as a person and not actually realising who it is outside. I love everything about it. There's a song in it called Overcome. The lyrics are just beautiful. I love it. I listen to it ridiculous amounts. I'm sure my husband and son are sick of the sound of it. But Cyrano as a movie is just the utmost of romance for me from start to end. I love it. I'm not a big love movie person, guys. I don't watch romantic comedies. I'm, The Notebook and all this. I don't really enjoy them. Cyrano, that's me to a T. Tick.
All right, now you stand there, and I will be here. And when she returns, I will whisper what you must say to her.
No! I like this way of talking. I like being invisible to each other. I cannot be stunned into silence by your beauty. Here in this awkwardness, I am free at last to speak from my heart. The way I feel is like falling stars diving into cold ocean waves. Words can only get me so far, but they cannot describe the way that it hurts.
Number 6 is The Truth About Cats and Dogs, and this is a photo scene in the film. And I should really have looked up this actress's name before I started, and I haven't. I will put it on the screen when I'm editing. This stars Uma Thurman and another actress, smaller, dark hair, can't remember her name, which is she's got Garofalo or something. Her surname is Janan Garofalo, something like that. This is a movie about this girl, and I think it's her like someone that lives next door to her. Uma Thurman is the typical beautiful woman, tall, slim, absolutely gorgeous. And the smaller, more normal looking dark-haired girl who I related an awful lot to. When I saw this film, I was about 19. And a lot of people said that the girl's character reminded them a lot of me, and I related a lot to the character. She'd met this guy, but they only knew each other via voice. He didn't know what she looked like. I think maybe did she phone into a radio show? And they kind of started to fall in love, but he still didn't know how she looked. And she, so insecure about her appearance, tried to pretend that she was Uma Thurman. Uma Thurman was her. That was her appearance. And there's a part in this movie where he still gets to know her, but he thinks she's just a friend of Uma Thurman's. So he gets to know her. He's taken photographs at one stage in this of her, and as he's taken the photographs of her, he sees her. He sees her as a person. He sees the inside of her, and for the first time, like, he sees her as beautiful, and they really connect. And that part, that photography scene where he sees her, not just the physical, he sees her, is just absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love it. So that's number 6, The Truth About Cats and Dogs. Number 7, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on. If you're a woman and you've got a pulse, it's a scene in Dirty Dancing. Patrick Swayze, oh my god, I almost picked the clay scene from Ghost, but that's a little bit racy rather than romantic. Suppose this is as well, the scene where he's dancing with her and teaching her to dance, and he makes her feel his heartbeat, and it's the scene where she has to put her arm up and he runs his hand. Anyway, as well as intelligence, a man that can dance. Oh, I love dancing. I've always loved to dance, and Patrick Swayze dancing is a joy to behold. I absolutely love to watch him dance. That scene is just absolutely beautiful. So Dirty Dancing is my number 7. Number 8 is possibly a weird one. It's The Fly, the remake. And this is the relationship that Seth Brundle has. Did I write her name down? Gina Davis, that scene where, if you haven't seen The Fly, don't listen for the next 30 seconds. That scene where he has completely lost everything of him. He's almost this creature. There's just a tiny ounce of humanity in him, and he wants her to kill him. To basically save him from becoming whatever this is that he's becoming. And it's the whole relationship. It's that gradual. It's her trying to hold on to everything that he was while he physically changes. And it's that ultimate sacrifice that she makes for him. I just think is incredibly romantic. Maybe a bit of a weird one. Right. I got to number 9 and I was struggling. And then I thought, how the hell could I have forgotten about this? Braveheart. Okay, you're thinking, Braveheart romantic? There's a wedding scene in this where they get married in a forest, and it's perfect. And I've always said that is the perfect wedding. It's just him and her and the person that's marrying them together, very casually. I think she has flowers in her hair and just a very normal plain dress on. It's just such a beautiful, they're in the middle of nature. It's stunning. I love the wedding scene in Braveheart. I just adore everything about it. So yeah, that's my number 9. Okay, so number 10, I was really massively struggling here, so I went with something from a TV show. Now, it's a TV show that nowadays is getting quite a lot of criticism, and it's Friends. I grew up watching Friends. I love Friends, and we all were very invested in that. Ross, Rachel, will they, won't they? For me, it's where we get to see the video of Rachel getting ready for prom. They're looking back at old videos, and her date they think isn't going to show up, and she's devastated, she's gutted. It's her big prom night, and Ross is going to step in. He's always had a massive thing for Rachel, and he's going to step in and take her to prom, but she doesn't know this. And he's getting all excited and worked up in the background, and he's getting his suit on and he's getting ready to go. And he's so over the moon at the thought of taking this dream girl to prom. And he comes out of the bedroom, and just as he's coming out to take her to prom, her date, who's a tool, and away she goes, just really, really over the moon excited, not bothered that he's massively late or anything. And Ross is left standing there, just shattered. and Rachel sees this video and Ross is sat in the room, and when she sees the video she understands how he feels, and it's like, oh my god, that's so sweet. Such a beautiful moment. I loved it. And actually that's 10, but while we're on Friends, the scene where Monica proposes to Chandler I absolutely love also. I think it's beautiful. He's stressing like crazy as to how he's going to do it, and he walks into the apartment and she proposes to him. I love that. I'm all for equality, guys, all for it. So that is my top 10 romantic moments in mostly movies, and I will try and put little clips in as and when I could. I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, as I said before, if you want to do this, I can't see many of you wanting to do this one, but if you do, feel free. You could maybe have most touching moments, saddest moments, whatever. This is my most romantic moments from my little listography book. So I will of course be back to do another list at some stage at random, and I look forward to speaking to you next time, guys. Over and out from Lisa Lives.